Second free throw, no good. As for those dry spells you mentioned about the Pacers, G8, they had a number of long losing streaks last season.
Yeah, as a team, they had 4 different losing streaks of 6 or more games, and they got hot at the end. Season-high win streak of 6 to stay playoff relevant. It was just too little, too late compared to their losing streaks earlier in the year.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
And the wide open shot from Stuckey. They get the rebound. The Lakers in the lead. There's the dish to Williams. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. The Pacers have gone 4 of 10 shooting the ball here in the first quarter. Passes it to Hill. That is in there. Lawson with the assist. And that'll tie this game up. Here's Huertas. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. To the paint. With 2 seconds left. And Kobe lays it in. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Lakers lead by 2. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And now let's hear from Ty Lawson talking about the balanced attack of this Denver Nugget team.
We do have a team type of game. You know, everybody is scoring spread out, rebounding, everything spread out. So, you know, even from the bench, it's definitely a team type game.
Well, that was the game plan a couple years ago when Denver was good enough to make the playoffs and Ty Lawson was at the controls.
You know, but not enough firepower to be able to sustain with the elite teams, say like the Warriors or the Rockets. Ty Lawson, a solid, dependable player in our league, but this is still a league where you need your superstars to win rings.
Up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And taking a look at the Lakers' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing in the game?
You know, they're not going to sit back and just take jump shots. It's all about attacking the paint and getting to the rim.
That's who they are. They've been the aggressor early, attacking the hoop and getting into that paint.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On the court for Indiana, Hill and Stuckey are the guard set. Hill is out there with Turner. And it's George in at the small forward position. Here's Russell. Paul George making his last shot. Nance. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession.
And Rodney Stuckey, a combo guard out of Eastern Washington, played a big role for the Pacers a season ago.
Some changes for Indiana. Mahimi's checked in for Turner. Allen comes in for Solomon Hill. And it's Ellis in for Rodney Stuckey. The Lakers also with a sub. Randall's checked in. And for the Pacers, they're shooting with confidence, 50% from the field so far. Pass to George. Pick up by Hill. Indiana moving it around. That puts them in the lead. Hill's got his second basket of the game. You were talking about Stuckey. He did play well in his first year with the Pacers. Clarkey helped them as a starter and off the bench.
Yeah, really had his most efficient year scoring the ball to date. And more than his scoring and what he brought on the court, his presence in the locker room and professionalism. You talk to the people around the Pacers, he was a breath of fresh air on a team that has a number of fresh air guys.
So it's the Pacers now, following the bucket by the Lakers. Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in. Williams dishes to Russell. To the middle. In the corner, it's Clarkson. Buries it from three-point range. And it's a three-point Laker lead.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
And George kicks to Ellis. George with no one around. Rebounded by Clarkson.
Well, that's a warm-up jumper there. I mean, when you're a pro, you can't make excuses for missing that one.
Randall no good.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
George, that's a two-pointer. George missing again.
Not really sure what he was thinking about on that shot. That is not high IQ basketball.
Not at all. I mean, he shouldn't even have considered taking that shot. Just a poor choice there.
On occasions last year, the Lakers were all right on offense. Other times, they were just stagnant. There was just no motion, nothing going on.
That's a great point. And their ball movement could use some work. A lot of ISOs last season, and it killed a lot of the flow the team had in the half court.
You know, for the Lakers, they were okay in the assist department, guys, but they were dead last in the league in secondary assists. That, to me, is indicative of an inefficient offense and also a new stat category.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Gentlemen, Byron Scott had some advice for his team in that last timeout. He made no mistake that their plan was to run their offense through Hibbert. Coach is looking for big things from him throughout the rest of this game on the offensive end. A lot of the scoring burden will fall on him. Well, Coach not wasting any time in tweaking the game plan. We'll see if it makes a difference as we approach halftime, Kevin.
And thank you for that, Doris.
And for the Lakers and that secondary assist stat, that just means they aren't making the extra pass, or it means they are holding on to the ball too long. Either way, it hurts the offense.
Everyone understands the importance of Paul George to the ball club. That's why taking his offensive game to the next level would be so beneficial.
Yeah, he has all the physical tools, the instincts, and obviously he has made those strides. But if he wants to become a top 5 guy, he's still got a little bit of work to do in terms of his game.
Making a change here. Lions checked in. About 3 minutes played so far in the second quarter. Pass to Russell. Kobe with a screen on Hill. Russell passes to Kobe. 5 on the clock. Shot from the wing. Misses off the left iron. Pacers trail by 3, pushing it up. Here's Ellis. Rebound by Kobe.
Can't get anything to drop. I mean, the way he's going, it's probably not something he should try and shoot his way out of.
Well, they say you should shoot your way out of it, but his teammates probably have other thoughts in mind. The last thing they want to see him doing is continuing to cast that jumper up.
No good. And the Lakers take it the other way. An even 3-on-3 break. Randall kicks to Clarkson. Bryant has the open look. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you can see the frustration on his face. Oh, that's a golden opportunity to finish on the break, and he blows it.
Yeah, at this level, you got to make that shot. It's plain and simple. You got to knock that one down.
Hibbert with a screen on Hill. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession.
I tell you what, he clearly had a brain freeze on that one. You might just as well keep going straight to the bench.
So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. And And so here is Indiana. They trail by 3. The Indiana Pacers had a solid season last year, given they were without their star for most of it. They played well at home.
Yeah, even without Paul George, they were in contention. How about 23-18 at home, which is really a solid mark when you consider they didn't have their 2 best players from a season ago.
You know, for the Pacers and their 23-18 home record, that was better than several teams that made the playoffs in the East. They were very tough at home at the defensive end of the floor.
All right now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
The free throw dropped for Lawson.
And the Pacers were 3rd in the league in field goal percentage against at home. Something about this crowd really drives the Pacers on the defensive end, even in a down year.
And the Lakers making a change here. Nance is checked in. Ty Lawson hits them both.
Well, clearly the Lakers were not a great team. I mean, they did have one of their better bench units last season. They led the league in points off the bench, but that was more an indictment of the quality of the starters than the firepower of the bench.
Here's Huertas. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. And the Lakers with another miss.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
Lawson drives in. Hill against Nance. Hill dishes to Turner. 6 on the shot clock. And the layup's good off the glass. Turner's got 5. Last year, the Lakers did have some firepower off the bench. A lot of players would see their roles shift during the year, as you might expect for a team trying to find the right combination.
Yeah, they were also near the top in the league in bench minutes played. So whether you start or come off the bench last year in L.A., you'll see plenty of action.
And Bryant gets it to go.
Assist from Marcelino Huertas.
For Indiana, they've gone 4 of 10 in the second quarter from the field. Lawson the pass to Hill. Nance with the rebound.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. That's tipped.
No need to rush here. They can play for 1 shot.
Yeah, and I think the way you do it, you're patient as you indicated, and wait until about the 5-second mark before you get into your play.
And Miles kicks to Stuckey. A step-back shot here. And no good trying to get that one. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Los Angeles on top, leading by just 1. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, thank you. Roy, I know you have just a couple seconds, but in a nutshell, what's going to be your approach going into the second half?
Well, we're just going to make sure we keep them off the board and keep them out of transition.
Thank you, Roy. Kevin, over to you.
Thank you, Doris, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for the third quarter of basketball.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you to the halftime show on 2K Sports. A competitive matchup for the Lakers in the first quarter. The largest lead for them during the period was 4. They were outscored by just a bit in the second quarter as they go into the break now holding just a 1-point advantage. And let's get your thoughts, Kenny, on the Lakers.
Well, it's tough to play on the road, and they overcame that. They were mentally and physically prepared for this game, but it hasn't been easy. They faced some intense play from a team on its home turf, but these guys didn't cave in. In fact, they fought back with some intensity of their own, successfully, in front of a very hostile crowd.
Shaq, your take on Indiana.
Well, it was a huge first half for their bench, a.k.a. the others, played pretty good. When you get a boost like this, it always gives the team a lift. And given how well the others are contributing, we'll probably continue to see more minutes for them in the second half. Starters or not, when players are producing, you gotta ride them, cowboy.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.